Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to take some time to do the math or the mathematic knowledge section of the ASVAB. So I have a sample exam here that I want to use. So with that, we can get started. So the first problem here give us the factorial of 10 divided by the factorial of 7 is equal to what? So this one thing we could do here is, give me a second, let me pick a So what we could do is this. We can take the 10 factorial. 10 factorial expands to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now all that is divided by 7 factorial. So we can divide all of this by 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So when you do this, the one thing that you will notice is that the 7s will cancel, the 7 will cancel with the denominator and the numerators will cancel. 6 will cancel, 5 will cancel, 4 will cancel, 3 will cancel, the 2s will cancel, and then the 1s will cancel. So we're left with just a 10 times 9 times 8, which should give us D for this one, for first one. And then the second problem just is 6 to the 4th power divided by 6 to the 3rd power times 6 to the 2nd power. So whenever you're given 6 or any value of base, the same basis, multiply with another number which has the same base but a different exponent, you can add the exponent. So we can rewrite this problem as 6 to the 4th divided by 6 to the, adding the two exponents, 3 plus 2 will be 6 to the 5th. And then whenever you're dividing numbers with the same basis or with the same base, you can subtract the exponent, I should say. So for this one, it'll just be 4 minus 5 because we're subtracting the exponents, and so we should get 6 to the negative 1, which could also be rewritten as 1 over 6. But in this case, this value can be found in the answer options, and so we'll pick C for this one. The third problem, it says 64 cubed, 64 to the so this is not 64 cubed, I should say. It's the square root, the cube root of 64 is what I should say. And essentially what that means is what number can you multiply by itself 3 times to get 64? If we take 9, for instance, 9 times 9 is 81. So that would not give us the answer, right? 9 squared is already bigger than 64. So that cannot be it. So move on to the second or the second option, which would be 4 times 4 would be 16, and then 16 times 4 should give us the answer. So the answer for this one should be B. And then the fourth problem, this you can use PEMDATs to go to solve this problem. So using PEMDATs, we can take care of the expressions inside of the parentheses first. And so if we do that, we'll see that this will turn to 4. The square root of 16 should be 4. So we have 5 minus 4. Still inside of the exponent. The parentheses, I should say. And 14 minus 12 should give us 2. So maybe, let me see. Times 3. And this one is times 2. Yeah, so essentially this becomes 2 times 1, which is still B2. 2 times 1 divided by 14 minus 12 will be 2. Okay, that would be 2 times 3. So this should be 6. Okay. And then 2 divided by 6. Okay, so give me a second here. I feel like, let me see what I did wrong here, because the answer that I would get for this one would not be part of the answer. So I'm getting this now, but this shouldn't, I don't see this as an answer option, making me believe that maybe I did something wrong here. So let's try this again. Alrighty, so this should give us a 1. And we have 2 times 1 will just be that. And then, okay, so, okay. I think let me see. Well, at least I thought I know. I think I may know this one. So when we got to this point, it should have been 2 times 1 divided by whatever the solution for this one was. Right? So 2 times 1, which will be 2. 2 divided by the 2 that we got from here, the 14 minus 12. So that should give us a 1. And then 1 times 3 should give us a 3. So the answer for this one should be A. And then this is just an algebraic simplification. So number 5, we can add like terms, right? So to solve for A, we add like terms or subtract like terms, essentially just simplifying this problem. So maybe the first thing we can do here is subtract this 2 from the left side to the right side. So we can rewrite the problem as 7a. 7a is equal to 3a minus 7, I should say, plus 2a. Now we can combine the a's on the right side, right? So we have 3a and then we have 2a. So we can rewrite it as 7a is equal to 5a minus 7. But we want to get like terms on one side. So what we could do is subtract this 5a from the right side. and this should simplify to 2a. 2a is equal to 7 is equal to negative 7. And solving for a, you divide both sides by 2, the left side and the right side by 2, so you get a should be equal to negative 7 divided by 2. So negative 7 divided by 2, but it looks like they've already converted. So the way we can do that is maybe how many times does 2 go into 7? I think it'll be 3, because 2 times 3 should give us 6. So we get, and this all should be negative, right? So it'll be 3, and then the remainder will be 1, right? So we get 3 1/2 should be our answer. So let me see. C looks like our answer here. And then number 6 is another algebraic simplification, right? So we can expand this out, which is we just take this 5, multiply it by this 2x, take that same 5, multiply it by the negative 1. We'll do the same on the right side as well. Take the 3, multiply it by the 4x, and then do the same for the 3 and the plus 3. So when we do that, we should get actually 10x minus 5 is equal to 12, because the 3 times the 4x should give us 12x, plus the 3 times the 3 should give us 9, right? And afterwards we can rearrange it to get like terms on one side, just to solve for x, because we are solving for x after all. So maybe what we could do is subtract this 10x from this side to the right side. So after we do that, we're going to get this negative 5 is equal to 2x plus 9. Right? But we want to solve for x, and so we need to get rid of the 9 on the right side. So we do the same for this side as well. And we get negative 14. Negative 14 is equal to 2x. Right? And then solving for x, we can just divide both sides of these equations on both sides of the equation by 2, and we get x is equal to negative 7. So number 6 should be B. And then for this one, it says evaluate the expression, and we're given the x plus y cubed minus 5x plus 7y. So and then they give us what the values of x and y are, right? So x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 3. So we could just plug this in here and should be able to solve for this one pretty straightforward. So it'll be 0 plus 3 minus 5 times 0, right? Because we know x is 0, plus 7 times 3. Right? Also, let me put a border here just so we don't confuse ourselves here. So 3 cubed, that should be 27. So 3 is 9 times 3 should be 27. So we get 27 here. And then 27 plus 21, right? Because this will go to 0. 5 times 0 will be 0. So, and then 3 times 7 will just be 21. And then you add this together, you should be able to get 48. So the answer should be A for this one. And then for number 8, we just okay. So solve for the expression 3 plus 6x is less than or equal to 3x minus 3. So this one we're also manipulating algebraically. So we want to get maybe the x on one side. So we could start off by just maybe subtracting this 3x from the right side to the left side. And removing this 3 to the right side. So when we do that, the expression simplifies to 6x. Okay, give me a second. Actually, it won't be 6x because we've already subtracted this 3x from this side, so this should be 3x. So it'll be 3x is less than or equal to negative 6. So at this point, we could just divide both sides by 3. And we should get x is less than or equal to negative 2. So this one looks like it'll be b as well. It'll be b. I shouldn't say as well. And then this is just okay. So what is the name of a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides? So 2 things come to mind. I think the first one that comes to mind would be like a square, and the second one that comes to mind would be a rhombus. So if they had asked what is the name of a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 4 angles, it would have been on without a doubt a square. But this one just says 4 equal sides, so the answer should be C for this one. And then number 10 says a 55-degree angle is, well, from what I recall from high school, or at least somewhere in the educational line, I remember that an acute angle is somewhere between and less than or equal to. So maybe if I just use x for this one, it's less than or equal. Well, I wouldn't say equal. It's strictly less than. So let's get rid of the equal to here. So an acute angle is strictly equal to less than 90. An obtuse angle is greater than 90 but less than 180. Exterior angle would be something if we had an angle like this. This would be an inner angle. This would be the exterior angle. So the right answer should be, and then we all know what right angle is, right? Right angle is just what would be here. So right angle is strictly equal to 90. So the correct answer should be B. Okay. And then 11 says an isosceles triangle. So from what I recall, a scalene triangle is an angle that I think it was none of the sides were equal, or none of the angles were equal, I should say. And then for an isosceles triangle, 2 of the angles were equal. So looking at this, I think has 2 equal angles. Yeah, so it should be this one. And then the side of an equilateral triangle is 20 centimeters. So we can probably even draw this one out. Equilateral. So if one side is 20, then we can assume that all the sides are 20 because it's equilateral, right? And then it's asking for the parameter. So that would just be the addition of all the sides. So we combine all the sides, we should get 60. And then 13 says the area of a rectangle is, so we can draw this one out just to help us mentally. At least I try to draw these ones out. So yeah, so the area is equal to that, and then if the length of the rectangle is 16, so we can put that length maybe on top of it. What is its width? So We could solve for this mathematically as well. So what we would do is, we know that to get the area of a rectangle is solved as area is equal to length times width. In this case, we've been given the area, right? So we just plug in the 144, and then we've also been given the length. So this is 16. So the only thing we're looking for is the width. So we could just divide by 16. Divide both sides by 16, and we should get width is equal to. So this one we can do some mental math, right? First thing I know about 144 is 12 times 12 is 144, right? So if we're dividing by a number greater than 12, then we should get an answer slightly less than 10, or slightly less than 12, and then slightly less than 10. So the answer that would make sense here would be C, which is 9. And then number 14 says the circumference of a circle is equal to 10 pi centimeters. Its radius is, so typically this is our circle. The circumference, which I'm going to denote as C, is typically 2 pi r. At least this is the equation to get that circumference. 2 pi r. Right, and then we've been given this as the circumference of the circle, blah, blah, blah. So we can just plug in the 10 pi is equal to 2 pi r. Right, and solve for r. I think that's what we're being asked. So we could just divide this side, the right side, by 2 pi to get rid of that. So this will cancel with this, so that we have r by itself, and then we do the same for this side, right? So the pi's will cancel. So the only thing we'll have is 10 divided by 2, which should give us a 5. So pi should be equal to, radius should be equal to 5. So C should be our answer for that one. And then number 15. Yep, number 15 says, how much will it cost to paint a circular patio of radius 7 meters if the cost of the paint per square meter is $2? So maybe what we need to figure out is what is the radius. I shouldn't say radius. What is the area of the square patio? Right, so drawing a square again and using the radius, which is 7 in our case, we can get the area. At least the formula to get the area is pi r squared. So pi r squared. We know what the radius is, right? We could just plug in the radius, which would just be 7 squared, which should give us 49. So it'll be 49 pi. But that'll be our area. But we need to know maybe at least to some approximation, what the area is, right? So we know 49 times 3.14. We don't, to make the math easier on ourselves, maybe let's eliminate the fraction, right? So we could perhaps say round this to 50 just to make the math a bit easier. 50 times 3. That should give us about 150. Now I'm going to put these two squigglies to say approximately, right? Because this is not an exact value. So that would be, this should be our area. And then they're saying that the cost of the paint per square meter is $2, right? So now we know that the area, which is in square meter, we already have that. So we can just multiply this by the 2 to know what the total cost should be. So the total cost should be approximately somewhere around 300 or slightly above 300. So A should be our answer for this one. Okay, and then 16 says a rectangular box has a length of 7 feet, a width of 3 feet, and a height of 2 feet. What is its volume? So this is a three-dimensional problem. When I look at something like this, what comes to mind would be something like this. And I can't draw to save my life, so you guys do have to forgive me. So 7, we can put the length, that's 7 feet here. And it says a width of 3, so we can put the 3 here. And then a height of 2, so we can put that here. And then what is the volume? So the volume is just taking the 7, because volume is just the length times, it'll be length times width times height. So we could just take the 7 times 3 times 2, which should be, equal 7 times 3 should be 21. 21 times 2 should be 42. But this is three-dimensional, right? So if you, once we go back to pick a solution, I realized that we got two 42s. B is 42 feet cubed, and then C is 42 squared of feet squared. So the answer should be B, because we're dealing in three-dimensional. Whenever we speak about volume, we're typically talking about three-dimensional space. So yeah, this would be the math, or at least the mathematics knowledge section. So yep, that's it. If you have any questions, just drop your questions in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you. I mean, I'll try to be as responsive as I can. And thank you for watching. Do subscribe. There's going to be more practice coming in. Not only ASVAB, right, but it's going to be other tests or other exams such as the SAT, the ACT, GRE, all kinds of material is going to be coming. So be on the lookout. Thank you.